Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all having a wonderful Tuesday. This is Serona Rose, your celestial host, and I'm giving an update for the AstroTarot show that I did last week. For those of you that missed it, you can go check it out on the Cauldron.net. Go on over to the show's archives and you can buy it for $1.99. That will be the full reading, the full astrological reading, as well as a tarot reading. I am going to cover something today. There's been a lot of questions and I'm going to answer them right here on this video. The biggest thing that everybody is concerned about right now is Mercury going retrograde. So I want to explain that a little bit. On July the 7th, 2019 at 7:14 p.m., that's Eastern Standard Time, at 4 degrees of Leo, Mercury stationed and will travel backwards in our sky until July 30th, 2019 at 4:48 p.m. And then he will end at 23 degrees of Cancer. Now, what does retrograde mean? Because yes, planets do not travel backwards. Okay. Now, as you all know, all the planets orbit around the sun. So when Mercury, which is faster than Earth, comes in between the Earth and a sun, it appears to station. And then we pass Mercury, so it appears as if Mercury is going backwards in the sky. Yes, this is an optical illusion at the best, okay? So now I want to talk about some dates that we need to consider during this Mercury retrograde. Now we'll talk to you about what Mercury is going through at this time. Now, Mercury did start out in the zodiac sign of Leo. Leo's planet is the sun, so Leo is center stage. He's our big strength, a lion, right? Very prideful. So, all of this energy began on June 20th. Now, as you all know, that is when we move into the sign of Cancer, and that is a day before the summer solstice, also known as midsummer. Now, on that day and through July 7th, that is considered the first shadow phase for Mercury. And that is when he is beginning to enter into his retrograde zone. And he will be in this energy until he becomes stationary and begins his retrograde motion. And yes, that was at 4 degrees Leo. Okay? And remember, he's going to be traveling backwards to 23 degrees Cancer. So from July 7th through July the 31st, that is really going to be his prime time. That is his very strong moment of his retrograde motion. From July 31st through August the 15th, that is considered his second shadow phase. And that is when he is going to end at 23 degrees. And what this shadow stage means is when it's talking about these degrees, when you're looking at this chart that I've got before you, it's when he is traveling through those degrees. So he's repeating it. So you see, this lasts for a few weeks before and a few weeks after that retrograde. I hope y'all can understand that. If you don't, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I will answer all the questions for you that you have on that. Now, when a planet gets closer to the Earth, we can feel that energy a lot stronger. And in a retrograde time, when any planet is retrograde, it is closer to the Earth. Mercury moves faster than the Earth. So when he changes or slows down, we catch up with him, we can feel that energy. Now, for those of you who have studied energy healing or have studied any kind of energy, you understand when an energy is going really fast and then it stops, you're going to feel that jolt. And this is just like anybody driving in a car. Say you're going down the road, you're going 70 miles an hour and you're having to slam on your brakes. Well, you're going to feel that, right? So when he does changes, we are really going to feel his energy. This energy will be heavier as it's not moving as fast as it was. Mercury is our messenger. He is the messenger of the gods. And he also is over money and merchants. He sends and receives energy. So these messages are coming and going at us. And this energy is coming in at the same time it is going out. And it's creating a lot of noise. So you got to think about this. If he is our messenger God, he sends and receives. This is like constantly giving, constantly receiving. It's really loud, right? It's a lot of noise. If you've ever watched Wall Street and you watch the trade markets and how they scream back and forth, that's what it reminds me of. So when it's noisy like this, when there's a lot of commotion, when there's a lot of chaos going on, it's a time that we can become so caught up in the moment or in things that are happening, it can get away with us. We can get carried away. This can have us making decisions sooner than we should, as there's a lot of energy here and it's coming and going. This energy can have us easily distracted. It's feeling like we have to make a decision or a choice right now. Like you have to sign these papers now. You have to decide yes or no right now. And that puts us in a place where we're not able to fully grasp what is really going on because we're only being shown the surface. Now, making those quick decisions is not advisable at this time because there's too much going on at one time for you to see the full picture of what is really going on. Mercury retrograde really gets a bad rap, and I don't agree with that, but it's because the energy is so intense. He is really here to help us. His energy, it makes us, this intense energy, it makes us want to shut down. And if you're in a situation like that where there's a lot of stuff going on, you do shut down. It's just too much. You're overwhelmed. This is an overwhelming feeling here. The trick is to find a way to allow the energy to be released before we take on more energy and let more energy in. We can let situations get the better of us that way because it emotionally prompts us, right? When things are going on so quickly and you get caught up in things, if you start to feel overwhelmed, that is a clear indicator that it is time to step back and to give yourself a moment. This energy is going to be heavily influencing all the energy in July. Now, when we think of retrograde, we think of the re's. Remember, reorganize, rewind, reprioritize, reminisce, and reunite. Yes, reunite. This can be a time where past lovers come back to your life. It is something that you're going to have to remember, redo, and maybe it is a time of cutting cords. And as we are approaching our full moon on the 16th, this is really going to be heavy energy about finishing projects and releasing ourselves from those things that are just really not serving us anymore. Getting rid of baggage that doesn't belong to us. Reprioritizing can be reprioritizing your life. What is important in your life? So, Mercury retrograde is generally associated with communications and technology breakdowns. It can make us nervous anxious. It can cause travel delays. It covers lost items. And you can reminisce about the past. And you can have those unexpected meetups with people from your past. Business negotiations are often in a state of flux during Mercury retrograde. That's why a lot of people will say, do not sign contracts, do not sign long-term business deals at this time. And the reason for that is, like I stated before, there's a lot of energy coming in and going out, and it can cause confusion. So this is saying that there are some important details that are not yet available to you. So if you do have to sign contracts and you have to negotiate business at this time, as you know, time waits for no man, right? If you have to do these things, please make sure that you are reading the fine print. Read everything. Educate yourself on this matter. I mean, fully educate yourself. Every possible outlet that you can do. Because what is going to happen is that you get later on down the road and you're going to find out some information that you didn't know at that time that could really impact this and really cause you problems. This particular Mercury retrograde is very intense, and it will be a little combative or aggressive because it is conjunct Mars, and that means it is around the same degrees that Mars is in. So Mercury and Mars are having this meeting, okay? They're right at the same place, and they're talking to each other. This can be impulsive and provocative because these planets will be square to Uranus. So nervousness, rushed thinking, that can bring about you losing your temper, getting into arguments. And this time you really need to be careful because you can cross some bridges and burn them down that you really didn't mean to burn down. Okay? This retrograde, I will tell you, and no, I'm not trying to put the fear in you. I'm trying to prepare you. A lot of people say, why are you talking about all this negative? Because it's not negative. This is reality. And this is what this can cause. And I feel that it's so much better for us to be aware of this energy so we can prepare for it. That is the reasons for my show, is to enlighten you of what is going on so you can expect this energy coming at you and you can deal with it appropriately. You can deal with it in ways that will be for your highest good and those ways that won't backfire on you and cause you more grief. This time will bring us to self-awareness. It is going to make us fully pay attention to our environment and what is going on. It requires concentration, patience, and self-control. And this is a time you are going to want to choose your battles carefully and avoid making spontaneous decisions. A tendency to act rationally, or irrationally, I should say, without regard for consequences, could lead to great disruption and conflict. Now, Mars is also in Leo with Mercury. And he is at his full power here. He was in Cancer, and there he wasn't happy. He just felt like he couldn't go forward. He couldn't do those things he wanted to do. He was feeling as if something was weighing him down. And now in Leo, he's ready to go forward. He's ready to go. And that is what he's doing. Now, one thing about Mars and Leo that many people don't understand here is that not only will it make him go and it fuels his fire, as Leo is another fire sign, this will open him up to his party self. Mars likes this energy because he can step up and he can get the job done. Mars can be center stage here, and this can lead to very playful energy. People always like to look at Mars as the warrior, and he is. But he is passionate as well. And he loves to have fun. He has got a very sexy side to him. So this could be some very interesting energy. And just like I said, take your time with things. Don't rush into anything right now. Experience life. This is a wonderful time to actually live your life instead of having to get up and go all the time. All of us nowadays lived rushed lives. We are rushed to do this. We get up, we go to work, we got to do this, we got to get this done. We get home, we got to get the family taken care of, we got to get chores taken care of, we got to do this. All of that stuff is going on. But when Mercury is in retrograde, it gives us a time to step back and refresh, rejuvenate. See, this is part of the re's as well. We always want to look at Mercury for being this big problem maker, but he's doing this to allow us to come back to ourselves, to allow us to heal. On the 10th of July, which is this chart you see in front of you, the moon is at its second quarter, and that is meaning that Lady Luna is at her halfway point. She is right in the middle of the new moon and full moon. And she will start out in Libra, but will make her way into the zodiac sign of Scorpio by 5:29 a.m. on that day. So this is a change of energy with the moon going into Scorpio. That's going to add to some of that. Now, Mercury and Mars will be opposite Pluto, which is extremely competitive, argumentative, and combative. That's why I'm saying, step back. If you are overwhelmed, step back and take a breather. There is a square that will be going on between the moon, Neptune, and Mercury, as well as Mars. So during this time, plans can change. This also enhances distractions and misunderstandings. So again, don't make hasty decisions. This whole lineup that you're seeing there in front of you is telling you that life is going just a bit too fast right now. And we are in the middle of summer. We are in the middle of vacations, of all sorts of different things in our lives right now. So this is giving us the opportunity to be able to think about things before we act, to make sure that we are communicating clearly to one another, making sure that we are doing the best things for ourselves. Stay focused. This helps us focus and hone in on that which we are trying to create in our lives. It's a time for us to be alert, aware of our environments as well. Mercury is broadcasting very loudly to Earth right now, and we can miss a lot of important information. So dealing with things as they come to you is very advisable. Take it in, consider it, look at all angles of it. Mars and Uranus have been in a bit of a square as well. And remember, squares mean that they are facing one another, that something needs to be confronted. And this can be tremendous rebellious energy. It can be a bit violent as well, so be aware of that. Uranus is our planet of shock and awe. He loves to shock people. He is our awakener. And he is very much full of electric energy. You can be expressing this buildup of energy inside of you in unhealthy ways. So be aware of that. Your feelings may be of one of maybe you feel restricted. A lot of you will have to face a lot of shadow parts of yourself at this time. So you're going to, some of you may feel angst within you, anger, those things within you. And it's going to be very important that you work these out in healthy ways. Go exercise, do some kind of physical activity to work this energy out of you. Mars is about the self, it's about the body. So you're going to want to express that energy in healthy ways while not causing harm to others, especially yourself. This causing harm, we have to remember ourselves as well. You're not going to be able to restrain chaotic energy within yourself, that unresolved emotions that you may be having. Things that are unhealed within you that's causing anger. So you're going to want to express them in healthy ways in order to get them out of you. The sun is also squaring Saturn and Pluto. So it's really focusing a lot on governments, reorganizations, what is really going to be beneficial for the whole. I mean, everything that's going on in our earth right now, regards to the upheavals, the governments, laws, all these things, and including Hong Kong, what's going on in Hong Kong right now. This is a part of this. We have to remember that we are going through a new age right now. We are at the beginning processes. We are birthing right now. And if you listened to my last show or the show before, I spoke about this birthing process. It will do you good to go and check out the readings that I did on the cauldron.net. They do have a section there. You can go in and listen to previous shows. It's only $1.99. That's US dollars. It's not much. The proceeds go straight to the station to keep it up and running. So it's a good way to support the station, as well as keep yourself informed of what all is going on. Venus is in Cancer, and she's going to be harmonizing with the moon that's in Scorpio on the 10th, and that's going to set in some really sexy energy out there. It's going to be very sensitive energy, and she's very romantic. This is a romantic place for her, but she's also sensitive, so we'll have to remember that. Now, I'm going to end with all of that. We have about, this is a little over 20 minutes, and I want us to really focus on refreshing ourselves, rejuvenating ourselves, and healing ourselves. I don't want us to focus on the problems. I want us to be able to find the solutions. And this Mercury retrograde, yes, it will cause us problems, but it's causing us problems for a reason. And that way, knowing this, we can step back and we can clear the path, clear the miscommunications. We can make sure that we are doing the best thing for us. So, take your baths. If y'all like to do the healing baths and all the salt baths and stuff like that, I urge you to do those. Take time to go walk in nature, be in nature, get that good feeling that nature gives you. Disconnect from technology. If you're having trouble with technology, maybe you need to step back from it a little bit. Go for a walk in the woods. Be with nature. Go for a walk on the beach. Do things that helps your soul heal. There's a lot of chaotic energy in our world right now, and it is overwhelming. So take this time to step back and take a breather from it all and get yourself back into alignment. Clear your aura, balance your chakras. Take a little mini vacation. Make sure you are hydrating yourself and getting enough rest. We are coming up to our full moon and partial lunar eclipse on the 16th, and that will be in Capricorn, which is Cancer's opposite. So this is going to be a little added extra confusing energy with that as well. But it's okay, because guess what? There is a reason for this as well. And I will talk about that on the next show. So join me this Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will give you the rundown about this partial lunar eclipse, this full moon in Capricorn, and what energy it is going to be bringing in. But in the meantime, refresh, reprioritize your life. Cut out those things that are not needed anymore. What's sucking energy from you? What is taking energy from you that is just not needed in your life anymore? Remember who you are. Take this time as a wonderful time to heal. Stay grounded here. Be in control of yourself. Know that this too shall pass. This is all happening as it's giving you things that you need to look at and you need to address. So do that. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I will try to put an update up after the show. But I guarantee you, you are not going to want to miss this show, as there's a lot of information in my shows that I don't give on these updates. I do tarot readings as well, bringing that energy down to earth. And I will see you next time. Same witch time, same witch place. Join me on the cauldron.net every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also check out my website. I'll list all that below. And take care of yourself and enjoy this time. Don't dread it. Enjoy it. Many blessings to you all.